This segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. All right, welcome back to Bayou Town. Martin Falls here with the First Lieutenant of the Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Department, Blake Tabor. And good to see you. How are you, Blake?
I'm doing well, Martin. Thank you for having me.
Good. You have yet made a third arrest in the cold case, which we covered last week.
Yes, sir.
Such a big public interest in that. We had a lot of hits, especially on social media. But y'all made a third arrest, so I'd like for you to talk about that a little bit and tell us what happened.
Sure, yeah. So, this particular arrest, I think it's safe to say was kind of a long time coming, with somebody that I believe was a person of interest for a while throughout the duration of this particular case. And I think this just kind of started to surface once we got this new information, which was fantastic, right? So on Friday the 19th, shortly before 12 o'clock, our detectives secured some arrest warrants for a John Fitzgerald Bonvillain Jr. He's a 40-year-old male. You see him photographed here. Ultimately, he was currently incarcerated on some unrelated charges, so it certainly made him much easier to find. But the charges that were put on Mr. Fitzgerald was a conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. He has since been charged with no bond. Obviously, he's being held on that. There are some other charges that he's being held on, so I don't believe Mr. Bonvillain is going to be getting out anytime soon. But it just made this arrest very fluid and much easier to deal with at that point.
As I was listening to you all, and y'all do a great job with those press conferences. Y'all have
that.
very thorough. But I would imagine in y'all line of work, when you're dealing with something like this and you're dealing with a family and the victims, that patience really becomes trying at times because, one, you're trying to get closure for the family, but at the same time, if y'all don't do your job perfectly, it could create a bad situation. So
absolutely,
y'all have to issue patience under the the toughest circumstances.
Most difficult of circumstances. You saying that, and I can hear my grandmother saying, patience is a virtue, and I guess it certainly is, because this ended in the right fashion. It ended where it needed to end with these arrests. But certainly it's very trying for our detectives. It's very frustrating for a lot of different reasons. Our hearts go out to the family, and we want to expedite this process as fast as we can for the family, not because it's going to make things better for them or bring that person back, as we know, but certainly it's going to make them feel like they have received some justice. And that's a feeling that can really help, a family member and a family throughout these trying times. So sometimes, these cases take long to deal with, and we just have to stick to it, and we just have to keep moving forward every day.
The thought often occurred to me as I covered all these press conferences over the years that whatever y'all say, there's other people you're talking to. And then y'all have the press conference, and then a week later, y'all on the news desk talking about an arrest that's made. Sometimes these press conferences are designed to bring people with information.
Absolutely. And look, the informational flow never really stops, right? A lot of these press releases and a lot of these press conferences, the big part of this is to hope that we generate some trust from the public. We want to generate some interest. Maybe seeing officers so passionate about these cases is the one thing that can flip someone who is maybe scared to provide information or just hasn't. Maybe it can bring them to the light, and that's our hope, and we're willing to do anything that we can, obviously, to make this happen. But we want to do this a lot faster than this case, came to be. But we're just glad that we ended in the right direction.
Do you ever have cases, Blake, where somebody sees somebody else, or somebody gets arrested and they go, well, I'm not going alone?
Correct.
There are other people involved.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And look, we've had situations in these cases where people did not want to be the only one coming forward with information because, as they believe, or the belief in their life is that it's going to be real easy to find out who the person that told on them is, So normally when we start getting some information, they're like, well, hold on, if that somebody must have given them that, so let me give them something. And, I think it's very empowering for for not only the family, but for citizens around and friends of this particular victim, Miss Pam. It's empowering to see that we never gave up on that and that we still wanted to do what was right by Mrs. Pam. She was a great woman, from what we have been told. And, this isn't just because she was a great woman. It's because it was the right thing to do, and making sure that this family can rest easy, and so can Miss Pam, is going to be tremendous.
Well, good. We appreciate that. Also, y'all have a national night out too.
We do. So that's going to be on Tuesday, October 7th. I believe it's the same night as Lafourche Parish. Ours is going to be from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the South Down Plantation and Museum that's located at 1208 Museum Drive. Obviously, we'll have plenty of law enforcement there. We'll obviously have first responders, fire department, food, drink, door prizes, you name it, it'll be there. And again, this is one of those events that allow people to come out and ask those difficult questions. The questions that everybody wants to know the answer to, but they never find an officer to ask them. What's going on in neighborhoods? Why aren't y'all patrolling the neighborhoods? Or what can we do to increase, police presence? Or what can I do to protect my home? What can I do to protect my property? And this is a way for people to come out and actually meet with law enforcement and give you the time to ask all those questions.
And they can bring you information if they know of a crime that they have information about.
Absolutely. We never stop listening, Martin, never.
All right, Blake, always good to see you, my friend.
All right, good to see you too.
Right,
Thanks.
Thank you. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back right here in Bayou Town. Don't go away. This segment was brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together.